Friends, I welcome you to my channel. Before listening to this story, I will ask you to like and subscribe. It is not difficult for you, but it is pleasant for me. And we're starting. Connie greeted me when I entered and poured 3 fingers of my favorite amber liquid in front of me. The same as last Saturday, stud? Dave told me that if I slept with you, I'd have to take you in, Connie, and I wouldn't be able to provide you with a normal lifestyle, I replied with a smile. That's bullshit. You can provide me with a much better standard of living than that Dave over there. He makes me work with him at the bar every damn night. Be careful. It's either working in a bar or selling your body. We need to earn our living, Dave shouted in mock anger. Dave and Connie have been running the Northern Bar at the Don't Tell Anyone Hotel for the last 10 years. For many years, I came here with and without my wife, Christy, and we became good friends. On Saturday nights, I like to come here to take my mind off everything, hopefully in a certain type of company. The Northern is where I find my companions and where Connie offered me a bet. The bet I never dared to make was that if I couldn't find a chaperone by closing time, Connie would be my guest in the hotel room that I always book for Saturday nights. The Northern was not the best bar in town, but it was located in a hotel and attracted people who wanted to spend a spicy night away from their spouses, or just a place where they could add spice to their sex life. I wasn't looking for either. I was the tool that women used for these purposes. You see, I'm a tall, dark-haired, and handsome guy. I'm the lone bass in this pond full of bluegills. Believe me, there are quite a few women who come here on Friday and Saturday evenings in search of what I can give them. I try not to be a complete jerk when it comes to my dating with married people. Only once, no long-term affairs. I always return them to the hubbies after the ladies have scratched themselves and started behaving strangely with me. I found that communication was the biggest marital challenge these women faced, so I encouraged them to have meaningful conversations with their husbands more often. I wasn't always that kind of guy. I was married for 8 years to the love of my life. But a couple of years ago, my wife Christy was taken away from us by a car accident, and I was left with 2 children. At first, no one could explain why she was on the west side at this time of day. But then, unfortunately, I found out. Tom Spags. That was the name of the lover who had been with her for about the last month of her life. I informed his wife Mary as soon as I found out about them and slept with her twice in retaliation, as she wanted, and the second time she sent him photos before throwing him out. When I found out that the woman I loved had betrayed me, for some reason, I wanted revenge. My depressed brain decided that sleeping with women who want to go astray on these Saturday nights was the exact revenge. Yes, I left them after the first time without exposing them or destroying their reputation, but if they pursued me further, I let the rumor about their infidelity and it could reach their husbands. This was one part of revenge. The other was that if they kept coming back for more, as my late wife did, I used them as girls of easy virtue. I met Tracy a few months ago. She was a beautiful woman and flirted with me before she asked if I wanted to take her to bed. Yes, that's how she put it. Of course I did, but when I noticed her wedding ring, I asked about her husband. He won't mind. She said so, and we spent a really hot night with her. It was one of the best sexual experiences of my life. She was unexpected, talented, and didn't hide anything from me. We'll be back this Saturday. Tracy walked into the Northern and immediately sat next to me at the bar. Hi, Rick, she said cheerfully. How are you, Tracy? I am a polite person. I've missed you, she whispered in my ear. Tracy, you know how I feel about married women. Have you discussed anything with your husband since we met? I gave her a way out by mentioning her husband. He never had what you have, Rick, she whispered again, a note of excitement in her voice. This is exactly how I imagined my wife to be, so hearing Tracy's words made my blood boil. Did Christy treat me with the same disrespect in conversations with Tom? I'll never know. I grabbed Tracy by the shoulders and turned her so that we were face to face. Tracy, if you want us to be together again, you're going to have to obey me from now on. Do you understand what I'm talking about? I looked at her sternly so that she would know that I was serious, and she could still refuse. It's not a problem, sir, she replied with a lascivious grin. I leaned closer to her and said softly, Go to the bathroom, take off your panties and bring them to me. Tracy got up from her chair, reached under her skirt and pulled off her panties. The guy standing behind her got a full view of her ass. He looked at me, not believing his luck, and I just winked at him. Tracy sat down again, handed them to me and smiled. I'll do whatever you say, Rick. I'll be that girl for you. I probably need to step up my game of dominant with this submissive lady. Here's the key to my room. Go up to the room and take off your clothes. I want to finish my drink. Tracy immediately left the bar and entered the elevator. I took a sip from my glass and Connie came over to me. Was that Tracy? Yeah, she came back for more. Connie knew what would happen if I went upstairs. She saw the result of what happened to several married women who came back to me, and she wanted to try to save Tracy from that fate. Connie, she's a big girl now. If you don't let her come to me, she'll just go to someone else to get what she wants. I get it, Rick, really, but you need to end this revenge tour of yours, even if the women deserve it. In the end, it will eat you up. I know, Connie, but it's not going to happen today, I told her, finishing my drink and heading for the elevator. I opened the door to the room and saw that Tracy was lying in bed under a blanket. I wasn't sure you were coming, Rick. I was finishing my drink before I got up. That's what you want, isn't it? Come here and undress me. Yes, sir. Tracy chuckled. For the next 2 hours, I used her body for my pleasure. She did everything. What could make a woman do that? What need was satisfied in her when she did it? I didn't know Tracy well enough to ask her to explain her feelings or needs to me, but I really wanted to know if Christy was the same. The only one who had an answer was Tom. I knew where his apartment was, so the next day I took my mother and children to a park not far from there. I told my mom I needed to meet someone and asked her to keep an eye on Cindy and Jimmy for a while. She was more than happy to do it, but her radar was on and she gave me a suspicious look. Maybe I'll explain it to her later. Tom didn't want to open the door at first, but I explained that I wasn't going to hurt him, and he finally let me in. There was little supported furniture in the apartment and nothing hung on the walls. It seems that Mary took revenge not only with me, but also with the divorce. Tom, I need to know about your relationship with Christy. Why did you two get together? Rick, I'm nervous about what I can tell you. I don't want you to lose your temper again like after the funeral. Tom, we both know I wouldn't piss on you even if you were on fire, but things haven't been going well for me since Christy died. I need to calm down a little bit, and you're the only one who can give it to me. I know it's going to hurt me to hear what you're going to say, and I'm probably going to get mad, but I'm not going to lash out at you. Why the hell should I tell you anything? You ruined my marriage. You slept with my wife. Twice, Tom replied angrily. At least you had a chance to try to save the marriage that you destroyed. You could have talked to Mary. Well, I didn't even know that there was anything wrong with my marriage while Christy was alive. I was quite emotional and stopped myself so as not to seem too nervous. What exactly do you want to know, Rick? We made love. None of us were in love. We've only met twice. I do not know about Christy, but I had a feeling that everything was coming to an end. The first time she was full of enthusiasm, but the last time we were together she didn't like it very much. Did she ever tell you why? Was she planning to leave me? I said it more harshly than I meant to. She loved you, Rick. She was never going to leave you. She never really told me why she decided to cheat on you, but I got the impression that she thought you cheated on her. Was she there? A girl of easy virtue for you? What? No, it wasn't like that. We made ordinary love. No perversions, none of this. Well, we never said anything bad about our spouses. Honestly, Rick, remembering some of the things she said while we were sleeping, I think she was using me as revenge. I just thought she was into it at the time, but I remember her telling me several times to use his wife. She wouldn't have said it if she needed it herself. Tears started streaming down my face after I heard Tom quote Christy's words. I've never cheated on her. Why would she think that? Did you tell her that I was cheating on her? I shouted. No, I swear, Rick. I worked with Christy for 2 years. She was in love with you, and I never molested her. I was in love with Mary. I do not know where she could have got the idea that you cheated on her. No one won anything by telling her that. I was looking for a solution, but instead I got a secret. Who told Christy that I cheated on her if I didn't? Tom, thank you for telling me about your relationship with Christy. It really helped me figure it out a little bit. I'm really sorry about Christy, Rick. She really loved you, no matter what happened between us. I hope you can find some peace once you find what you're looking for. I went back to the park and played with the kids for another hour before taking them to my favorite restaurant. Mom felt that something had happened while I was gone. We loaded the kids into the car, and on the way home she asked if I was okay. I said we'd talk at home. The kids wanted to swim as soon as we entered, so my mom and I put on their bathing gear and sat by the pool to chat. Where did you go this afternoon, Rick? I met with Tom Spags. I needed to ask him a few questions. You didn't do anything stupid, did you? You can't let them arrest you. Kids need their dad. I just asked him about him and Christy. He thinks Christy thought I cheated on her and made love to him in revenge. Do you trust him, Rick? Who would lie to Christy about something like that? I don't know, Mom. For me, if Christy was lied to and she decided to take revenge, then for some reason it's better than thinking that I wasn't enough for her. Tom told me that he didn't say that to seduce her. I believe him. Why would he lie to me now if it doesn't matter? If not him, then who? To be honest, I have no idea at all. I didn't sleep well for the next week. My mom and I went through all the names we could think of that had shown interest in Christy over the years. No one came to mind who would try to ruin our marriage. When Saturday came, I wasn't even sure I wanted to go anywhere. Mom came at 9 o'clock, as she did every Saturday night, and practically pushed me out the door. You need to go have a few drinks and meet women or whatever you're doing to calm down every week, son. You look exhausted, and sitting here all night won't help matters. Okay, Mom. I'll be home at the usual time. At the bar, Connie challenged me with her usual bet when I walked in. I sat down at the bar. Tracy came over and sat next to me as soon as Connie put my drink in front of me. I wasn't in the mood for companionship and probably shouldn't have come to the bar. But Tracy needed something, and she didn't care about the level of my interest. Tracy, didn't Connie warn you last week that you'd be in trouble if you kept coming after me? Connie says that to all the girls, Rick. Shall I wait for you upstairs, sir? Asked Tracy with a twinkle in her eyes. I handed her the key to my room and she left. I've been racking my brain all week about who might have lied to Christy about me and why. Then suddenly the light bulb above my head lit up, and suddenly I felt sick. Tracy turned away to go upstairs before I realized the revelation, so she didn't see me jump up angrily. Connie was serving at a table when I approached her. She turned and smiled at me until she saw the look in my eyes. She turned pale, covered her mouth with her hand, and tears filled her eyes. Oh, Rick, I'm so sorry. I thought you and I could. I cut her off. You killed her. You ruined my marriage and Tom and Mary's marriage. My children don't have a mother. Why? Why? I'm in love with you, Rick. Don't you dare say you love me. What kind of monster of love destroys a marriage with 2 young children? Dave came over and stood between us. He pushed me away until he heard my words. Then he stopped and looked at Connie incredulously. Connie, what is he saying? Oh my God, Dave, please listen to me. I don't think I need to hear this anymore. Get your ass out of this bar, go home, pack your stuff, and go to your friend Terry. If you don't leave by the time I get home after the bar closes, I'll kick your ass out. Tracy came down to the bar about 15 minutes or so later. She saw that something had happened. Rick, are you okay? What is it? She asked anxiously. Did you know about Connie, Tracy? What about her? She told Christy that I was cheating on her so that she would have a chance to meet me. Tracy immediately couldn't stand it and fell to her knees. Oh no, I didn't know anything, Rick, I swear it. How could she do that? Oh my God, Cindy and Jimmy, poor babies, she wailed. Her desperation towards my children surprised me. She didn't even know them, but she was crushed knowing what they had to go through just because someone wanted to make love to me. I'm going home, Tracy, I can't. Are you going to be okay? Do you want me to come over so you have someone to talk to? No, I'm fine, Tracy, thank you. Don't do anything stupid, Rick. Call me if you need a friendly voice or someone to just vent your soul with. I am available at any time. Thanks, Tracy. I came home and Mom felt it. Rick, are you okay? What happened? It was Connie, I said softly. Who is Connie? Mom asked, confused. She works at the bar I always go to. Christy and I were friends with her and her husband. She killed her, Mom. She told Christy that I cheated and Christy trusted her enough to believe her, I said, looking at nothing. My mind is lost 1,000 miles away. Oh, Rick, baby, I'm so sorry. I stayed at home the following Saturday and the next, too. In the end, Mom demanded that I leave the house and do what I used to do to help myself relax. I wasn't sure if I wanted to, but I came out anyway. To another bar, a few blocks east. I've been to the Doggies bar before. It was more of a honk-tonk bar. It was fun, but with a slightly different type of people. There were more groups of young people walking with their friends than wives and cougars who frequented the Northern. I sat down at the counter and ordered myself 3 fingers of brown. Before I could take a sip, Tracy came up behind me and hugged me tightly. Where have you been, Rick? Tracy, what are you doing here at Doggies? Tracy looked down at her feet and muttered something. What did you say, Tracy? I can't hear you over the music. I said I was looking for you, she shouted, this time looking into my eyes. I was worried about you. Do you want to get out of here, Tracy? It's so loud in here that you can barely speak. Of course, Tracy shouted with a smile. My car was parked near the entrance, and we both leaned against the driver's door, talking. Tracy, do you want to go to another bar? We could go to the Northern or somewhere else if you want. We could go to my house, Rick, Tracy suggested with a hopeful look. I'm pretty sure your husband would disapprove of that, Tracy. Tracy's behavior suddenly changed. I live alone, Rick. Sam's gone. Did he leave you? Did he find out about your infidelities? She looked angry now. I have never cheated on my husband. I was with you after. Tracy began to cry, apparently thinking about Sam. Tracy, I'm sorry. I didn't know you were divorced when we first met. You said you were married. Tracy was sobbing now. I hugged her and she cried on my shoulder. He didn't divorce me, Rick. It died. I'm so sorry, Tracy. I did not know, and probably no one knew. Was it right before we met? No, that was before your wife died. When you walked in without her, looking so lost, I decided I was going to chase you. Tracy, I feel even more lost now than I did then. Someone I thought was a friend lied to my wife about me. My wife decided to avenge my alleged betrayal, and then died in a car accident, and I never knew what was going on. I know how you feel, Ricky. Sam died of a heart attack in bed with his young administrative assistant, and not only did I not know he was having an affair, but I didn't even know he had an administrative assistant. We both chuckled mirthlessly at this. Then what do you suggest, my little one? I asked, reminding Tracy of what she had told me a few weeks ago. Tracy gave me a big smile. This little one would like to take you home and wear you out all night. I'd like to go home with you in the morning and meet your mom and kids for breakfast. Then I'd like to take you and the kids to the zoo, and then come home, clean up, and have a romantic dinner. Then we'll come back here, and you can use your little one all night again. I'd like to repeat this every weekend until we fall head over heels in love with each other, and you ask me to marry you. By jiggers, that's exactly what we did for the next 6 months, until we got married. One small change was that Tracy got pregnant in the 4th month. It didn't really change anything except that she became the designated driver and I could drink as much as I wanted. Dave divorced Connie as soon as possible. It became known what she had done, and eventually she moved to the coast to hide from angry stares. Dave was a nice man and eventually married the barmaid he hired instead of Connie. They worked at the bar together for many more years. Tracy and I only had one child together, Harry. This gave us a total of 3 children, and that was enough. She was kind and loving to all the children. Cindy and Jimmy fell in love with her and called her mom shortly after we got married. Tracy was proud to be my little one. At one point in the evening, she called me sir, letting me know that she was waiting for the children to be put to bed. My only problem was to keep Tracy from waking everyone up during orgasm. The balloon gag did its job, but I liked kissing too much to leave it for long.